Hello everyone. Now I am come back to upload the video next part or second part of the Light of Asia. As in the last or previous video, we have discussed about the things how Prince Siddhartha visited the city of Kapilvastu first time with his charioteer Channa, and what was the things he noticed there, and what was the condition of his when he returned back to his palace. At that night, he became totally restless or felt uneasiness and didn't get any sleep that night. On the next day, his father King Shuddhodana managed more beautiful dancers and other musicians to entertain him, but all the others, ministers and the people, those who were assembled in the palace or room, felt that it was only the sound of music, but Prince Siddhartha noticed that it was the message of Devas, and someone was calling to him to perform the duty and responsibilities for which he had come to this world to fulfill and to complete. Now, at the same night, Prince Siddhartha became restless and woke up at night, and he started shouting in a very loud voice, "O world, my world, I hear, I come." Having seen it, his wife Yashodhara became worried and wondered what was the condition of Prince, and she asked to know the reason of his worriness or sorrowfulness. Now Prince Siddhartha remarked nothing to her, but to please her, he smiled. But there was something going on in his mind, and he wanted to see the city of Kapilvastu more. And he requested his father that he wanted to see the city of Kapilvastu once more. Now his father gave him a permission to visit the city, and he believed that now this second visit would completely change the mind of Prince Siddhartha what he had seen in his first visit. But Prince Siddhartha, disguised as a merchant, and his charioteer Channa, disguised as a clerk or servant of him, and they started both to visit city. As they crossed the boundaries of the castle or empire, Prince Siddharth noticed that an old man was lying on the road. He was looking very weak physically and crying for help. And he was looking ill or sick. Prince Siddharth asked about this Channa. Channa answered him, "O Prince, due to old age and weakness, he became sick. And after some time, he would get death." Hearing this, Prince Siddharth remarked nothing but moved ahead. On the other side, Prince Siddharth saw a dead body was carrying on bamboo, and some people just carrying it on their shoulders and put it on the pyre for its cremation or funeral. Sudden, a flame changed this dead body into ashes, and Prince Siddharth again asked about this to Channa. What was that? Channa answered him in a very polite way again, "O Prince Siddhartha, this was the reality of life. No one could survive permanently in this world. and each and everyone should have to get death. This is an inevitably call, no one can escape to it. Hearing all this, Prince Siddhartha remarked to Channa, I have seen enough, my eyes have seen enough, I don't want to see anything more. Now please go back to the palace. Prince Siddhartha and Channa came back to the palace, and this whole night again Prince Siddhartha remained uneasy and felt restlessness. This whole night again Prince Siddhartha didn't get any sleep. Now he wanted to know what was the meaning of life, why he came to this world, and what was the duties of him, and how to it perform. This same night his father King Shuddhodana saw an awful dreams. In his dream he saw seven fearful sights. He wanted to know the real meaning of these seven fearful sights, but there was no one in his castle, there was no one in his kingdom or palace who can or who could told him the real meaning of seven sights. But sudden a hermit came who was looking very old and informed about those seven awful dreams to King Shuddhodana, about the things that those were not an awful dreams, but those were seven happiness, and these would come true within 7 days, and Prince Siddharth would become a monk and savior of the world. He would change the law of the world, and he would save the humanity. He would convey a new message to the world, and the best teacher. Now, hearing all this, his father King Shuddhodana became very worried, and he tripled the guard at the gates of the palace and arranged more things to entertain Prince Siddhartha. But Prince Siddhartha wanted to know, as I have described in the past, the real meaning of life. And at the age of 29, he decided to leave the palace to become a monk, to know the significance of life, importance, values of life, to attain mendicant. Prince Siddhartha that night woke up, touched the feet of his beloved wife Yashodhara, and begged pardon because he was leaving her alone in this palace, and he started his journey with Channa. As he crossed the boundaries of his castle, he handed over all the things that belonged to royalty or princely to Channa, and requested him to go back to the palace, and informed his father and his wife Yashodhara and his son Rahul that he would not come again in his whole life to palace. They all should forget to him. All these things happened in a sudden way. King Shuddhodana could not understand what he could do, what he should do, but all the things got late, and Prince Siddharth, a royal prince, became a monk and the savior of the world.